That's the intro song. Some little drums. Ding, ding.
That is my intro song. Good afternoon, everybody. It's Grant and
Nicole.
And we are the
HotSpark
team.
The HotSpark team.
We're the HotSpark
crew.
team.
Team sounds so like old school.
HotSpark what?
Crew. The HotSpark crew.
Squad.
The squad. The besties.
The squad.
The squad of besties.
Yeah, so like we were in a meeting this afternoon with Geneva Classical. Shout out to education institutions. And we were...
I totally thought you were going to say like shout out to the people that we met with, but you said educational institute. How much can we share that we're old heads in the first 10 seconds?
What? We're amazing.
I know, but
so we were hanging out, and it's awesome to serve them. Why did I bring that up though?
I don't know.
Oh, HotSpark. It was the first time that we had announced in a public forum with other people, HotSpark, and it was like, oh dang, but it was like, nah, I was right.
Yeah,
it was right. They were cool. They were cool. So we are beyond the HotSpark show. We should actually get rid of show and just call it HotSpark. And go and shout out to John Sierra for coming up with our logo. So we're gonna have a logo coming up soon. So we have, in theory, Tamiko, but she's not here right now. And that happens with live shows.
And she works full time. So I think she's fitting us in on a lunch break. So
no
meeting
joke.
can go over, anything can happen in that scenario. But
she is the conference director.
Yeah, she's a content creator. She's a travel blogger. She's a conference director for TBEX.
For TBEX, definitely. So she got a lot going on, but please check her out. We'll drop her name in here, whether or not she even comes on today. What is going on in the land of content today?
I've been trying to get content out for 2 days. I'm like recording content in my car. I'm trying to edit in between us driving to the meeting and all this. And it's like, this is real life. Getting content out, if you do not plan it and like on the go, is kind of hard. But we were going to be talking about content for HotSpark and kind of like a content strategy for announcing our social marketing. So I'm guessing you like that term?
What?
Social marketing?
I don't know. What do you think? So we don't want to be a marketing company. We don't want to advertise ourselves as marketing.
We're not the traditional marketing company.
Because when you think marketing, you think paid ads. When you think marketing, you think banner ads, you think commercials.
You think stock images.
You think what? I don't think stock images.
I think old and traditional.
Old and traditional. So, but Nicole, you floated the idea of calling ourselves a social marketing company. Do you think that limits us? That was my first reaction. This limits us.
Well, we've been looking for terms to put together, something that was new and fresh, that merged things like technology and social media, influencer marketing, website development. Like, how do we, we both make up a lot of different things. And so how do we find a term that encompasses all of that? And so social marketing came up because I feel like influencer marketing could fall under that and make sense. But it is two words that aren't usually put together. So
as I think about this, and no one's really watching at the moment, maybe they'll watch the replay. So we can kind of go into it. And this is what while we're waiting on or seeing if Tamika's going to be able to join us. So please forgive us. We'll get her rescheduled if we can't. While we're waiting, I think it is good to build in the open on some of this. And my initial thought was this. I absolutely believe that within this is big, and this is big to our people at Influencer Academy because it's called Influencer Academy. I believe how we talk about social marketing, there will be a new term that emerges in the next 18 months that will catch on. It'll be catchy. It will encompass. It will do what we're trying to do with this phrase. And maybe it is social marketing. I don't know. But it will encompass creators. It will not just focus on influencers, but creators at large. Because you'll have, just like you have an internal social media person, that person will be more versed in not as much marketing principles, so much as telling their story and from the inside out. So whether that's social marketing or whether that's social media, I don't even think social media is right. I don't think media marketing. Currently, I don't know of a better term than social marketing.
It's a pretty good one.
It's a pretty good one, but I don't think it'll be the thing that catches on or catches fire that will replace marketing, social media.
It would be really funny if it did, though.
If that was the one.
Mark the day. Mark my words.
Mark the day.
Mark my words.
November 19th, Natalie Kale's birthday.
Yeah.
Was the day that you
I thought she had the same birthday as you.
No, it's 2 days later.
Oh, okay. Happy birthday.
So social marketing. So all that to say, as we're building out HotSpark as its own brand, We're still holding on to Spark sites as our, what is the term we're using as our,
our budget-friendly website development.
Yeah.
Right?
HotSpark's going to be more of a comprehensive, but we are producing podcasts for select clients, not all clients. We are running some paid ads, but only, and that's the thing, when you say social marketing, I kind of dig that, because the way we approach paid ads, even, it's more of an integrated process. So if you've ever run paid ads for your brand, and with HotSpark, we're touching a lot of things on marketing in general. So this is really on brand for the show. We've learned ads enough on Facebook, I think, to know that there is an entire ad funnel strategy that would fall, paid ads, that would fall under this broader concept of just like marketing, conversion, and sales. But there's another approach to, yes, paid ads that doesn't focus expressly on direct ROI so much as expanding reach, creating retargeting audiences, and then priming the platform for whether it's gaining followers, gaining likes, other metrics that aren't just sales. And that is more social focused. It does include some lead form ads, but we're still trying to codify that. And in the midst, I don't know if I showed you this, I should present it to everyone, coming up with the hierarchy of marketing needs. The marketing hierarchy of needs is a book and a manuscript, an ebook or manuscript that we're working on. But I came up with the graphic of it. And, you know, a lot of people think, when I think marketing, I think of marketing funnel. I don't know. What do you think when you think marketing? Do you think marketing funnel, or do you think what?
No, I don't. I think marketing is like a huge umbrella. It's a huge puzzle. And then everything else are the pieces that go underneath it. So, I mean, I can imagine them. I know what a marketing funnel is, but like, I don't know where you're going with this. So take us on your.
Well, no, I think a lot of people think of a marketing funnel and they think of like awareness, engagement, conversion, and then like they get into the sales page and then the continuity. And though those elements, I think, fit in what we're creating for our hierarchy, I'm focusing on it that if the average small business solopreneur were starting out on their marketing journey for their business or service or brand, like what's the minimum they need to be doing on the daily? And that's like the foundational level. And then once that's systematized, what's the next and the next and the next? Whereas when I think other agencies talk about marketing, you know, they do this dance, they shake these bones, they make it seem like we're going to get this outcome for you. And it's often leads or sales.
They rely heavily on Google ads. And while that still works for service-based companies, some, it's not really what's driving results for small businesses. And I also think it needs to be cut up or broken. The budget. Things need to be broken up in quarters, and they need to have special campaigns every single quarter that focuses on one goal, one KPI, and not what usually happens is like, let's just run let's just have general posts that go out. Let's just kind of make it about the business and testimonials. And it's like, no, we should be driving something. There should be a story. This, even if it's broken in months, this month, the story is it's the new year. And so we're driving sales for this. It just needs to be more broken down.
Well, and I think people are too busy. Small business owners are too busy to get their head around marketing, even though I'd contend it's the only thing that small business owners really need to keep their hands on. Everything else should be systematized. And I think where I failed in past businesses is I held on to the leadership, the management, the bookkeeping, the production, even the sales, far too long, procrastinating getting my head around marketing. And
because it feels like it's a moving target.
It does.
Now you have influencer marketing, but it's such a powerful tool if you understand how to yield it, and that wield it or yield it. Wield? Yeah. Like a wheel?
Yeah. Yielding means like, whoa.
Slow down. You learn how to wield it.
Yeah.
Wield it.
Wield
it. I know things, people. I swear.
Wield it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, and I think you make a good point about marketing, and that is it should largely be campaign focused. Meaning, you know, a lot of agencies will sell you, hey, for the next 3 to 6 months, we're going to do an awareness and engagement campaigns. We're not even going to worry about conversions, which I agree with in principle, because that's just how priming a market kind of works. But if you can't figure out whether or not your ads have a product market fix, I think, and you think it's longer, I think, but I think in 3 to 5 days.
Well, not since you learned from school's ads
Ad labs.
Ad labs. Like you said that an ad can run for 24 hours and you know if it's going to
hit.
That's because I have an old school understanding from when I ran ads, and now I'm learning the new, which is like you pretty much know within 24 hours, which I think is great because then you can turn things off, but it's hard to let go of, well, wait. It takes about 30 days to gain momentum and find your audience. So I don't know.
But here's why that happens, I think. I think why that happens is a lot of small business owners have very limited budgets. So let's say the average small business owner can't afford more than $500 in a single month for paid ads. We try to get that in a more condensed time. So we tell them, 14 days, 2 weeks. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to spread that budget out as much as possible. But what I learned from Ads Lab, or what I tested from the advice from Ads Lab, was you set a budget of $250 or more the first day, like in a 24-hour cycle. That's scary. Well, Grant, if my ads run longer than a day, I'm going to be spending money out the nose. And if my budget is $500 for the entire month, I'm blowing through my budget immediately because it is a fishing expedition. Ads Lab's premise is this. If you start your ad at 12 midnight, because that starts the clock on the algorithm. The algorithm counts from a certain time.
The most for your money.
That's right. And you get the most for your money in the early hours. You hit the East Coast of the United States. And what you do is you watch your ad actively because it's set at $250 a day.
Yeah.
And you don't want to spend that. But if I told you that you would make a sale or 2 or 3 every time you spend $250, you would run that out all the time if you're, assuming your average ticket covers that, because that's a winning, self-fulfilling proposition, right? And so the idea is set your budget at $250 or more a day, starting at midnight. You check the ad at 10 a.m. and or 11 a.m. And if it is getting clicks, you keep going. If it's not, you pause it. So at most,
you got to follow those parameters then.
You got to follow the parameters.
Okay.
It's you have to actively engage.
Well, it worked. We filled up a whole school with
school and Influencer Academy.
Yeah, it was working. It scared the Jesus out of me because
we're
spending so much money.
But
we were getting new people.
We spent that much, about $2,500, $2,400, I think. And Influencer Academy blew up to 100 members that month. Mom's group, the Mom Creators group on school, blew up to like 300 or 400 people. And that was acceptable because that was part of our funnel. Yeah. Now, we failed at other steps down the funnel.
Yes. What happens after they come in is very important too.
But we hit it on the ads, and we knew it the first day because I ran the ad for, I think it was like $200. And by the end of the day, it had people flowing in. And now once we realized it was flowing in, then we adjusted the budget. So it was a little bit less. It was like $50 a day or something like that. But it was churning. And then we realized, okay, so this is working. The thing is, if the ad's not working, and Ads Lab says this, set the budget that high because the algorithm is taught by Facebook to go, whoa, these guys are willing to spend $250 a day. Yep. Let's throw the algorithm at them real hard, because then they'll keep spending that money with us. And so it really primes and feeds the algorithm's incentives, because the algorithm is incentivized to maximize money to Facebook.
Maximize spend,
And they know I will keep spending money if I keep getting results.
Yeah.
So if you set your budget too low, you're not going to get results. And it's also like cost benefit analysis. We're not going to throw a lot of compute power. From the algorithm to a big enough audience.
That's why we always say, well, we do tell people to boost their posts, like on Instagram, throw $10, $15, $20 on it. It does help. But like, I feel like on Facebook, when you do that, it's like throwing money into the toilet.
On Facebook, for sure. Instagram, maybe it's a little different.
Yeah, I've seen it work on Instagram more than Facebook, but we don't know what's going on. Well, we do know what's going on with Facebook, because we've been talking to our members at Influencer Academy, and they've been telling us, or reported to us, that they will post something on Instagram. It will, like, we're talking about Reels, okay, you guys, Reels, not just a regular post, but it will go to Facebook, but it goes out into the metaverse, and it doesn't go to their actual like creator page on Facebook. You have to take that same video and repost it onto the Facebook page. But if
you don't set the setting.
I mean, they say there's a setting, but I haven't found it.
So the catch-22 of what she's getting at, from what I heard when we were talking to the gals this week, was this. There's a setting that you set it where it will distribute to Facebook. And the people in our community who set that setting, it turns off the ability to automatically post to your Facebook profile. That's the negative. But the positive is that it gets a hella more views because it goes into a much broader audience pool.
People are getting good views on there.
Million views on a single reel to a broader audience. But those views aren't credited to their profile, so they can't get collabs based on those numbers exactly.
Right.
So then the people were saying, well, yeah, so your option are to set that setting. It doesn't share to your Facebook profile. Then you go to Facebook and manually share the same video. And that when you do that, the second time you shared it doesn't get as many views either, but the reach of the first one is on point. Yeah. When you do it the opposite way, it'll just automatically share to Facebook and you get your normal amount of views.
I really wonder if anybody can actually follow what we're saying if they're not a creator. You know what I mean?
Well, if they're not a creator.
We talk a lot of shop and we just assume everybody's
join Influencer Academy. Maybe we'll be on the inside.
There you go. You could learn some of this jargon, like you could figure it out, but we do talk a lot of that.
So that raises a good question. So let's say the average small business owner is watching and we're talking about some nuanced stuff about being a collaborator. What advice, if these companies that I'm noticing that are at a decision point, I'm either going to really step up my marketing game or I'm going to close. And by stepping up my marketing game, I'm going to get involved in social marketing in some way, shape, or form. Or I'm gonna just watch my company wind down. What advice do you have to them on where to get started?
First, I don't know that a business owner ever watches their company wind down. I feel like they watch it explode and then fizzle out.
What does that sentence mean?
Like if you know your business is not being successful, I don't know. You're almost like saying people take a back seat and they're like, well, let the chips fall where they may, is that how it happens? Or do you kind of like,
they say things like, where I get my leads is word of mouth.
Oh, okay. So they're getting stuck in a mindset of how it used to work.
Yeah. So and they get this trickle of leads that every new lead that comes through, they're priced at just enough to get by to the next pay cycle, the next lead, and they know how to close those leads, but it's a trickle as opposed to actual marketing.
I think this is a psychology question.
Sure.
Because you're really, really stuck on acting as a business owner, making just enough, and getting referrals and not experimenting with new marketing. So I think the first thing I would suggest to somebody who is like that would be to talk to a specialist or get online and start interacting on social media. And I don't know.
What does interacting mean? Like actually unpack the word. What does it mean?
Yeah, see, I would want to go on. I would say go on Instagram and find somebody who's in your industry and see what they're doing to see if it's more innovative than you. If they're bringing in leads through their links, like their link tree, or if they're like, see what it is that they're doing that's different than you. I think that's probably the easiest way to give a gut check to your company is to do like competitor analysis. It's going to be hard.
Know, like if you have a competitor, let's say a plumbing company or a pest control company, and you go to their peers and you see their links, how do you know they're getting leads from that? How do you know?
Well, you don't. What you know is that you don't have that tool set up in your own business. So the less like ways, that's not the right way to phrase that, but the less ways that you have for people to access you, get in touch with you, you're limiting the customer like experience and their ability to reach out to you. So when I go say, when I see things like that, I'm like, okay, people can access you on Instagram. People can access you on Facebook. They don't have to meet you face to face in a BNI, like at from BNI referral. Those work. But again, it's only one way to work with you. You need to have multiple ways for customers to find you and work with you. So I would say that. I think social media is a good place to start, or Facebook is a good place to start, or website. Googling who has a really good website.
Yeah. What does that sentence mean?
Meaning look to see what companies have really good websites that are in your industry. I think that's an indicator that they're up to date with current trends, marketing, and just their whole digital presence is being taken seriously.
Listen, like I cannot say this emphatically enough. and this is stepping beyond creator marketing. The reason influencer marketing, creator marketing is having its day is it came in just in the nick of time. A lot of our website companies are just straight up closing.
Man.
Because they're not figuring out marketing. Their business is doing decent revenue, not great. It's not retirement money. It's not delegating money so that they can turn the whole thing over and go on vacation and get a decent, modest founder income from that company. They're seeing what the next push will take. And they're like, I can't do it. Mainly because they're thinking about, if I had to do this the way I've done the last 10 years, I cannot do another 10 years like that. And the answer is, you're right, you can't. Yeah. But they can't get their head around an alternate. So the two options, the binaries are, I close because I'm just exhausted. The company's doing fine. I just don't know what to do next. And I can't tear away enough to learn something new.
Yeah, I can see that.
And so the alternative is closing. So I'm watching, I'll get an email, once every other month of a client that I've had for 8 years. And they'll just go, hey, closing up shop. I'm taking a step back. I'm shrinking. And in their mind, they're holding it together. That's a client watching their business close, letting it devolve. And the alternative is accepting that the market has changed, full stop. Shopping has changed, full stop. Kids that use Snapchat, Instagram, and TikTok as a search engine are the 20-something consumers now.
Who was telling us, Maria with Mike and Mike's Desserts, said she was looking for a dry shampoo and on TikTok. And what she found was a creator who was actually giving advice about just using cornstarch. So she still found her solution. She didn't end up having to purchase something, but like that is just one of the simple examples of how people are interacting with social. I trust social, and I know I can find like more information from a creator than I can from Google.
I'm doing research on Sigma males, a masculinity thing.
Okay.
And, Sigma as a term is shifting gears. What does Sigma mean? Well, it kind of means cool, but it's also like used ironically right now. Sometimes it means not so cool. But Sigma males, I was looking up. I looked on Google, and Google just gave me all these Google answers.
Yeah, like a definition.
Well, beyond. It was and some of it was conflicting definitions. And you could see they had the little link where they pulled that resource from. Then I went to ChatGPT, and it had better answers and just synthesized an answer for me that was, I guess, more robust and roundabout, that or well-rounded, that I really liked. But then I realized, oh, well, I'll look at Google Trends. But then I jumped over and I looked at, I jumped into TikTok. And I typed in Sigma males.
Oh my God.
And I watched like 3 to 5 videos, and that's actually where the conversation is happening. And I learned more from those 3 to 5, 15-second to 30, 60-second videos about what they think about Sigma males, because they're literally telling me what they think. It's getting rid of the middleman. And that there's a buying generation that has shifted to that. And that's not just them. And there's this wave of like 30-somethings that are still Googling things. If someone, Miguel Ojeda said to me the other day, he was sitting with a potential client, a coaching client, and they said, hey, I Googled X, Y, and Z. And Miguel suddenly was struck on how much that sounded like VHS because he uses ChatGPT for everything. And it's just been a year and a half since we've been messing with ChatGPT. And my point about consumer behavior is, it's no longer okay just to say, do you do SEO? If you come to me as a potential website client and say, hey, I'd like to rank higher on Google, I'd be like, great, that should be the minimum standard. That should be guaranteed. You shouldn't have to say that. That's like saying, hey, if I buy
a website, it will have a form on it.
Yeah, or if I buy a house, it should have front doors. Like, you don't have to articulate it, bro. Like, it should have front doors. And it's the same with SEO, but what you should be asking about, social optimization.
How to lead traffic to your website, how to capture the information once it gets there.
Because they're becoming the leading search engines.
Right.
And then beyond that, and we already need to consider it's not in full swing yet, but ChatGPT optimization. How do you optimize your website so if someone does asks their AI for an answer, it comes to you? It presents your information. How do you do that? And is it relevant? It's not totally relevant yet, but give it 3 months. Here's my point.
You know what? ChatGPT gave me a reference today. when I asked it for some information and had like a little
Yeah.
bot. It doesn't usually do that.
Well, and it probably depends. It probably, because it's a language model, it knows if you're asking a local question or if you're asking a broader abstract question.
Yeah.
I mean, Google search doesn't account for like the nuances of the human language. It just looks to answer your question. But the language model goes, well, I think this is what you meant by your intonation and inflection. And I think it'll start populating geographically relevant answers. Like, hey, where's the best pizza shop in town? You didn't say near me. You didn't say that I could order from right now.
Yeah.
You didn't even tell it what town. But it knows, it has your IP address, it looks it up, and it knows from the inference that you're probably looking for pizza, and it's like, boom, here's your reference. So what's that?
No, because ChatGPT literally becomes your best friend. Like it gets to know you. It gets to know how you talk, what your business is. Like Grant asks it all this crazy questions. Like if you were trying to ruin my life, what would you do to distract me or make that happen, or some version of that?
And it's crazy.
It's crazy.
And it's accurate.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. This is what I'm getting at.
Yeah. What are you getting at?
The average small business owner is mentally exhausted. And for me to say you have to take marketing seriously, they're literally deciding if that's what they're going to spend the next 2, 3, 5 years doing, because it takes a while to get your marketing program running.
Yeah.
Your marketing systems. Can I just throw ad money at it? That's better than nothing.
Yeah.
You'll learn something. Start. You know, you don't have to start with a $250 budget if you don't want to. You start with, we have several leads ads that go up for $5 to $15 a day. And what's the average lead worth to you? Start with something, but it should lead you to an existential question of, do I actually have something marketable? And I really encourage you to do something. If you want advice on that, reach out to us. You can check us out at sparkmysite.com. You can check us out at hotmodinfluenceragency.com. The website for HotSpark Media will be coming soon. That'll come out. But we want to make sure that you're doing your job as a marketer. And this does answer, how do I sell myself when I talk to people? I don't know what to say. Who do I need to be on the camera? No, but somebody does. You got to have a message. What's your mission?
Cue influencers.
Well, you still got to be able to tell them what to say.
You do. You really, really do. You got to be clear about your mission and your services.
What has been the mission for HotMod?
What has been the mission for HotMod is really, it started with my goal of empowering moms and families to make money, make a supplemental income through content creation and brand partnerships. And I've done that in spades. Like, I mean, I work with a ton of local moms. I've worked with moms across the countries and families across the country because it's really silly how long we sit and watch and wait for the right time to do anything, because you're not confident and you just don't know how to get started. And when you can just get over that little hump, which is what I did over and over in coaching, was really like, you can do this. You know, you only have 700 followers, but by next year, if you set some goals, you'll be able to get to it. So, but because of that, I mean, they have become amazing content creators and they love working with small business owners. Like, there's so much in common between the two. So,
and our mission has been igniting lives of explosive significance. We did that through helping people with their online presence. I've done that through goal coaching. It's still my personal mission. And we're taking our time with HotSpark. The reason we're taking so long to like truly announce the new branding, because we want to make sure the mission and message are clear. We want to make sure that the offerings are clear, because that's the mistake I think we both, or I have made in past businesses, is it's not abundantly simple and clear what we're doing for you. And it will be around social marketing. It'll be around messaging. We're working through that right now. But we're facing that challenge. I think the term that I mentioned to you was creative destruction. Remember that? Creative destruction is an economics term that basically said, at some point, the market will disrupt you. It's the nature of markets to disrupt you. So creative destruction says, I am going to disrupt myself. Before my competitor puts me on notice and starts taking my clients and I see a decline in revenue, I'm going to innovate what I'm doing, even if it takes my core offering and gets rid of it. We need to be doing that. And that's why we're giving birth to HotSpark, because we're both realizing our businesses, though yours is more timely, has been more timely, HotMod has been more timely with influencer marketing, that's evolving radically
so fast.
so fast.
So fast.
And so we have to innovate and come up with an idea.
Even if you're in the industry,
especially if you're in it,
that is moving at a rapid pace, you can still get like behind just because of software and technology and the advancement of all the new standards in terms of, you can even feel behind when you're actually in front. It's just nuts being a business owner.
Well, and so a lot of you, we want to encourage, step up and answer the question. Okay, I know how to build systems. I know how to deliver my service.
I know how to sell my product, my service.
I know how to do my billing and bookkeeping. Yeah. You're avoiding marketing. It's the lost corner. You're avoiding. I go to networking groups. That's cool. That's networking. It is a pillar of marketing.
Yeah, it is.
But that doesn't make you a marketer. And it doesn't mean you've systematized marketing, because if you're the only person in your company that knows how to glad hand, that knows how to talk to people, that knows how to listen to pain points, it's not systematized, and you don't have a marketing pillar truly up and running. And if you want that next level where you can hand your company off to the next generation, because you need to start thinking like that from the get-go, I encourage you. I mean, and that's the journey we're on. That's why we're evolving from Spark sites and HotMod to HotSpark. That's why you're going to see more products come from us, more IRL events and training coming from us. You're going to see us evolve. So we challenge you to evolve.
I mean, we're doing stuff that's challenging me already, like us putting on the what are we calling it?
What's it do? What's it do?
The conference in Puerto Rico.
Retreat.
Yeah, the retreat in Puerto Rico. I'm like, I have never planned anything this big. It can't be that hard, but the fact that it's making me uncomfortable is a good thing. I'm learning a new skill, and I mean, I know it's what we're meant to do.
Okay, so as we wrap up, let's wrap this up together to the few people watching. What's your top goal you think will be? You don't have to be held to it, but for 2025, what's the big goal for you personally?
Oh my gosh, girl, that's so big. It's so, I don't know.
Answer it.
Can I say stuff like make money?
Yeah, but like what? Give us a number.
Oh my God. Okay, since the retreat might actually be in Q2.
It is Q2. Just give me Q1.
Okay, by Q1, I would love to have like 10K in sales for the retreat tickets.
For the retreat tickets. Yeah. I was going to say, come again. Like, but yes.
We'll have that in sales, but like the retreat sales.
The retreat, booked in retreat sales. We like that. I think my top goal, I've got some fitness goals.
Wait, well, let me ask you, what's your top goal, Grant?
Oh, thank you for queuing me up. My top goal is to sell out for the retreat.
Okay.
But also have booked some trips. So in the vein of personal growth, you'll see me traveling a bit more next year. And I mentioned this to you because I need to be exposed to new inputs. I need to be exposed to brains and voices and experiences from around the country and around the world. Yeah, I'm connecting with my crypto people. I'm looking for conferences now just as an attendee, because I'm committed, and you know, you're committed to, like, there's a phrase I heard recently, and it's under no circumstance. We heard this from Jesse Itzler, who he's famous for a lot of things. We have his big ass calendar. Marissa gifted that to me last year. And it's just, we haven't even utilized it much, but it has a huge presence. Yeah. And so we realized we actually do need these. And so we bought another one. And on that, I realized I need radically to put on the calendar big pillars of personal growth and travel. And so, like, my trip with my crypto people is coming up. But that also limits the amount of time we have to actually work on the vision, which means we're going to have to narrow what it is we're working on quite a bit more. So my big goal is to have that plan in place, to have the travel in place, but to have the retreat in Puerto Rico completely sold out. But also our next info product be a record-breaking info product for us. And I'll bring that number to y'all. But I challenge you, if you do not grow in the next 3 to 6 months, you will be and if we do your website or your marketing, you'll be telling us, hey, you're gonna have to wind down my account. If you don't grow. Yeah. If you don't grow your mind and your skills and your vision, then your business will not grow. And so I encourage you to do that and follow along with us, because we're committed. Oh, this is the phrase, under no circumstance. Jesse Itzler said, he doesn't use this phrase for everything, but when he does, the people in his life, his spouse, his family, his stakeholders, his business co-owners and the co-founders, they know that when he says this phrase, to get out of the way or be a part of the solution and not a part of the problem. And it's under no circumstance will I not achieve X. Under no circumstance will I not achieve, we're doing a fitness cut starting in a few weeks. Under no circumstance will I not hit 208 pounds and do a photo shoot. Under no circumstance will we not sell out of our Puerto Rico trip. Under no circumstance will we not have a record-breaking info product with our next info product. And I suspect it will be the marketing hierarchy of needs, basically what to do next in your marketing, no matter what you're doing right now. But those are some of my big goals coming up.
Just a few.
Just a few.
Okay.
And we haven't even talked about like DMO Go and all of our platforms and tools and calculators that we'll be rolling out, but those are my big ones. And then what's your biggest low-key fear or lie you tell yourself? You got to hear this. You got to grow from our journey.
Why do you keep putting me on the table like this?
On the table, on the spot. What's the biggest fear or lie you tell yourself? And I want to hear from y'all in the comments. You people watching, you're on the hook too. Comment in the comments. Hit the chat button and comment your biggest fear or lie you tell yourself that you know is not true.
Like negative self-talk.
Negative self-talk. What's that loop that hits now?
That doesn't happen.
False.
Oh my gosh.
You might overcome it. You might even overcome it, but it loops in there.
I don't think I'm as aware as I need to be about what these lies are. I don't know. Or I'm not going to say it on the show.
Okay, there it is. That's probably more true. Let's be honest. We get afraid of that.
All right, what is yours? What is the biggest lie you tell yourself?
The biggest lie I tell myself is I'm the one people leave.
Oh,
it's true. I'm the one people leave. And that's not true, but it feels true quite often. That comes from some childhood trauma. But I find this thing looping in my brain now and again. And I need to not only, I overcome it, right?
Yeah.
It's a loop that hits, but I act instead of it, which is like level 1, to be aware that you have a loop.
Yes.
Level 2 is to act in spite of feeling that way. Level 3 is not even having it, being purged of it or synthesizing it in some way, metabolizing it or whatever it needs to happen, processing it so that it's non-existent inside of you. So that's my biggest one that I'm overcoming this year. So follow along, please use these opportunities for personal growth by participating. We put our stuff on the table.
Yeah, where you at?
You're going to put it on the table. Listen, I am remiss. We didn't get Tamika on the show today. We're going to wrap up. Thank you for staying with us. We will try to have her on. Probably not next week. It's Thanksgiving week. A lot of people are busy.
Yeah, we'll probably have to miss
a few weeks from now. We're going to try to get her back on. So please forgive us. That's my fault. I own that. But no matter what you do today, please invest in your growth, invest in your business, invest in yourself, and you can catch us anywhere on the internets. What do we tell people?
Or downtown.
Or downtown. If you're a Lakelander, you can always catch us downtown as well. But if you need any help with your marketing, your messaging, your website, your personal development, your goals, your business, please reach out. We are here to help you spread your message and go from there. HotSpark. Have a great one, everybody. Take care.